Hello everyone, Zane here and welcome to another Final Fantasy XIV video. Today I'm going to show you guys how to farm the moogle tomestones, which are called allegory. So this is from the moogle tomestone event that is going to be from today all the way up to patch 7.3, which is in early August, most likely August 5th. So in order to start, if this is your first time, talk to the moogle over here in the starter city states to pick up your Mogpendium. This is under the collections tab under duty, and it's permanent after you collect it for the very first time. So you get your standard objectives, which is what you're going to be spamming. You get your weekly. This is going to be different from everybody. This is going to reset every Tuesday until the event ends. The mini mog is also weekly, but this is going to be for everybody. So everybody will have the same thing. Pick one to do which is easiest. This will be different each and every week, by the way. And the ultimog is once per event. If you do not have Endwalker complete, you can't do this challenge, unfortunately. So you'll find the variant dungeon or criterion dungeon finder in Ultra Land to start the quest. So that will give you 70 tomestones. This is 10 and this is 20. For standard, what you do is going to give you a certain amount of tomestones. Okay. At the bottom here, you have ocean fishing, which is unlocked at level 1 fisher after you do the first quest. And this is going to give you 5 to 10 depending on your score. So you're going to do this every top of the hour. It's going to be different depending on your time zone. I believe it's even hours on the East Coast and odd hours on the West Coast. And it's going to be different for Mountain and Central Time if you're in the America. The gates are going to be based off the gate that you do and also the MGP that you get. Anyway, the wind blows and the slice is right are going to be elimination gates. So what you get is based off how many MGP that you get. So if you get eliminated early, you won't get too many. Leap of Faith, I think depends on if you get all perfect scores for the statues, and the same thing goes for Air Force One. Cliffhanger is pass or fail. If you don't save the chocobo at the top of the mountain, you won't get 1. If you do successfully rescue him, you get 3. Simple as that. I don't think there's any in between. So what you want to do is basically spam Cutter's Cry, which is the top of the list here. This is the easiest one that I have found to do, but if you want to get a group of people to do this as well, you can, but you have to do it synced. The best way to doing Cutter's Cry solo is with your blue mage, which I have right now. Now, this is going to require almost all of the most powerful spells if you want to do this fast as possible. So I'm doing this as a healer because you're going to need to be able to heal yourself for the final boss. So I'm using Mortal Flame, Goblin Punch, being mortal, Gob Skin, which is going to help you survive, Ultra Vibration, which will knock enemies out with one shot if they're frozen or petrified. Final Sting you don't really need because I was just testing it out, see if it was going to be helpful. Glass Dance, Shock Strike, She Shanty, Mighty Guard, Breath of Magic. Moon Flute you can use or you can leave without it. Itinerant Mimicry, so you actually can get a healer Mimicry, so actually you can heal yourself. Ram's Voice, Basic Instinct, Super Naka, Whistle you can leave out. Jade Kick you kind of can leave out, you don't really need it, but I have it with me. Night Bloom, or you can use Song of Torment for your dot. Sonic Boom for distance. Missile is ultimately needed for the first 2 bosses. Toad Oil for helping you dodge. Phantom Flurry. And Palm Cure for your heals. White Wind is also okay, but it's going to take like almost all of your MP just to do it. And because you're going to need a lot of HP recovery, it's probably not a good idea to use it. So this is what I use for this event. Now, I also recommend putting sleep on your hotbar because you can utilize sleep to get through the dungeon quite quickly. So Basic Instinct will not work unless you're in a duty that requires more than 1 person. So right now we need to find a healer. Thankfully we have one right here. And then you're going to activate Mighty Guard outside. And then what you're going to do is go up top here, Unrestricted Party, Level Sync, and then you're going to end up queuing in. So I've already recorded myself doing this, so I'm going to do a voiceover of how to do the Cutter's Cry solo. So the first thing you do when you enter is to use Mighty Guard, Basic Instinct, Toad Oil, and then Gob Shield. You're going to take out the first set of enemies, and then a second set will spawn, opening up the pathway to the next floor. And you're basically going to repeat this twice. Now I do want to add, because you're not going to be using your primal spells for the first boss since it is susceptible to missile, go ahead and waste as many as you like to kill your enemies. Obviously make sure you heal at the end, or use the Ram's voice to freeze everybody if you want to make sure that you don't get killed here. So when the next set of mobs spawn, they will tether to each other. Bringing them all together, just Ram's voice them and then take them all down. The second floor is basically rinse and repeat. You're not going to have all your spells if you kind of wasted everything on the first batch, but these guys do have low HP and your damage is really increased thanks to your blue mage traits for magic and mend. So yeah, the next set of mobs, you're basically going to pull one and then the rest will come in. And just basically, like I said, Ram's voice. You can do ultra vibration here if you like, or you can just spam Ram's voice to kill them all, but you won't really need ultra vibration really anything after this point, so go ahead and waste it now. So right before the first boss, you're going to replenish scab skin and toad oil if needed, and heal if you have to. So if you are lucky enough to get by these guys without aggroing them, great. If you do get their aggro right before the boss, wait for them to group up and then cast sleep, since it's an AoE sleep, unlike healers, which is single targets. Whoever survives not being slept, just take them into the boss arena and then zerg them down with whatever spells that you have. And then after they're dead, make sure you missile the boss since it is susceptible. It does miss on occasion, but when he does hit, it hurts hard. And then once you're done, get into the sifting sands and go down to the next floor, and you're going to go straight to the exit. Do not attack any enemies, just go straight for the exit and click on it as fast as you can, and you're going to do that for the next 2 floors until you get to the next boss. So the second boss is susceptible to missile just like the first. So basically you're going to use that a couple times to drop him down. If you're not fast enough, he will burrow underground and extending your time. So try to dot him up and then use your primal spells as he gets low enough. So basically that's pretty much going to be it for the second boss. Take the sifting sands for the final floor. So the final stretch, we're going to be doing the self-sacrifice method. Because they implemented the shortcut to the final boss now for everything before Dawn Trail, we can now utilize that shortcut to bypass everybody in the final floor each and every time. Plus it resets your cooldowns, so if you use your primal spells before it, you guys can have free reign to use them again for the Chimera instead of waiting for them to be off cooldown. So when you die and reset, make sure you reactivate all your spells. Basic Instinct, Mighty Guard, Gob Skin, and Toad Oil. This is going to give your enemies enough time to reset. Because if you're too quick, they will re-aggro onto you, and then you're going to have to die all over again. So make sure that you give them some time to reset themselves. And then rush back to the Chimera, and you're going to end up taking them out. So the one strategy that I didn't utilize here was not using Moon Flute. It's going to give you a massive buff to damage, and also it's going to help your dots do the best that they can. Even if the buff falls off, your dots snapshot the buff, which means that they will continue to tick as if the buff was applied. Once the Moon Flute goes off, you'll be pacified. If you swift cast Angel Snack right before it goes off, you have a regen. Otherwise, you can just run around and kite them to make sure that you don't die from his attacks. Once you're unpacified, continue using Goblin Punch and your abilities and heal when accordingly. Don't get hit by that orb, otherwise you'll be paralyzed. If you have the ability to heal yourself of status effects, utilize it. Other than that, get in for Dragon's Voice, out from Ram's Voice, just like any Chimera, until you have defeated the Chimera. And then rinse and repeat as many times as you like to get your tomestones, or do the gates and then do this in between. Okay, so that is the strategy of doing tombstone farming with the Moogle event with your Blue Mage, solo with Cutter's Cry. So this run actually took me 6 minutes and 50 seconds because I utilized the strat of dying in the hallway to skip all the ads. Now let's check the rewards that you guys can get from this moogle event. Alright, so at the top of the list here you have the coffee earrings, which most likely we won't see this for a very long time. So if you want to be like a collector of earrings, you want to get this first. The other reward for 100 is the Return to Oblivion, which is going to be the Refulgence music from the Eden Raid, which you can probably just get off the market board. The other earring is the Demon Brick earring at 50. You have the Ruby Weapon Mount, the Gweeber. The Iron Frog Mover key is from the Big Boss Fate in Colusia, so it's probably a good idea to grab this now. The hairstyle here, I forgot where it is from, but it's really expensive, so you probably want to grab it now. And the Necromancer minion is very expensive, at least on my server, and it's only one, and this is through the Hero's Gauntlet, which is for 50. The Machinist of Barding, you actually can get this through the Ishgard Restoration, but that's for 30. The Fist Pump emote, I don't remember where this is from, maybe it was from Ishgard, but this is for 30. The Polka Dot Parasol is also from Ishgard Restoration, I believe. You have MGP Tickets, which is going to give you 50,000 for 30. The Drake's Horn is from the Amalja Tribe Quests. The Dire Wolf is the Ixal's Tribe Quest. The Fife here is from Susanna, I believe. The Blissful is from Lakshmi, which is very easy to solo. The Wooden Bin is a tabletop item for your housing. It's just cheap on the market board, so grab it there. The Ilmeg Garden Fountain as well, grab it off the market board. The Hanging Bench market board. The Flower Vases, the market board. The Lawn Ornament, I know this is garbage on the market board, so grab it there. The Kobold Minion is from the Kobold Tribe Quests. You have the Neo Ishgardian gear, which you can easily just craft it. But this is basically just gear that you can trade into your Grand Company for Grand Company seals, or glamour, or desynthesis. The Moonfire Fair gear, or glamour, is pretty expensive. You also get this from Palace of the Dead, Accursed Horde. You have treasure maps. This will automatically give you a treasure map dungeon. So you got level 70, level 80, level 90, and then the other level 90. So that's basically from Elpis. So these are going to be full party maps. But you can do some of the dungeons solo as a blue mage. Riding maps do not get these because you don't really need these for mounts. Because when you beat a Rummerborn 2.0, you get flying, and that's going to be a little bit faster. But if you're a completionist, get these through the Allied Hunt currencies. Then you have some Triple Triad cards. Some of these are easy to get. I would get Varus card because this has only gotten through his trial, which is very hard to do. Well, I guess on Sings is really easy, but it's really hard to get because no one really does that anymore. So get this while you can. 2B card. If you can't get this from the 24-man raid, get it now. This minion, I think you can get through the hunt currency, so save your tomes. Then you have the I Rolled Apart Equestrian Scroll. The Hatching Earring, this is very rare to find, so if you want to get it, it's only 1 token. And then you have the Minion, which is definitely worth it for 1 token. And then when the event ends and you don't have enough mock tomes for the rest of it, just get Job Mastery and just discard them. So if you're trying to make Gil, honestly, I would say the Necromancer minion, the Machinist Barding, the Fist Pump emote, maybe the Parasol if they're going on the market board for a good amount of Gil, but everything else is basically worthless. The Moonfire stuff, maybe. The maps you cannot trade them, so unfortunately you're going to have to do them, but you can do those for Gil as well. And then sell whatever you get from them, is my honest opinion. Okay, so I'm going to try to do a Gil guide for this in the future, or at least try to do as fast as possible because it's very time gated, so maybe not, but those are my recommendations if you're trying to make Gil with this event. Alright guys, so that's pretty much going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the rest of my channel for more Final Fantasy XIV content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, and have fun farming. And that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you're new for more Final Fantasy XIV content and help with the YouTube algorithm. If you guys want to support my channel even further, consider becoming a YouTube member, Patreon supporter, or help me on Ko-Fi. The links for those will be in the description down below, as well as my Discord. And an extra special shout out to the members on screen. So until next time, if you ever walk in the glorious light of Lord Bahamut, and always remember to keep forging ahead.